Once upon a time in a small town, there lived a couple deeply in love. Emily, with her sparkling brown eyes and a heart full of dreams, had a simple request for her boyfriend, Jack. She wanted him to get a decent job. One sunny morning, as they sat at their favorite cafe, Emily looked at Jack with concern in her eyes. "Jack, I really think it's time for you to find a proper job," she said, her voice gentle and caring. Jack, a passionate dreamer with a mop of unruly hair and a twinkle in his eyes, looked down at his hands, a sense of unease creeping into his heart. He took a deep breath and replied, "Emily, you know I love writing. It's my dream to become a published author, and I'm working so hard on my book." Emily sighed, her love for Jack evident in her eyes, but her worry was equally apparent. "I know you love writing, Jack, but we have bills to pay, and it's been so long. Your book hasn't been published yet. We can't keep relying on my income alone." Jack's shoulders slumped, and he looked out the cafe window, deep in thought. He knew Emily was right, their finances were stretched thin. But giving up on his dream felt like surrendering a piece of his soul. As the days passed, Jack grappled with his decision. He searched for job listings and attended interviews, but every time he did, he felt like he was betraying his true passion. His heart longed to pour words onto paper, crafting stories that would transport readers to new worlds. One evening, as he sat at his desk, a pile of rejection letters next to him, Emily walked into the room. She saw the despair in his eyes and said, "Jack, I know how much writing means to you, but we can't go on like this." Tears welled up in Jack's eyes as he replied, "I can't give up, Emily. I just need a little more time. I believe in my book, and I believe it will find its way to readers' hearts someday." Emily reached out and held Jack's hands, her touch warm and reassuring. "I love you, Jack, and I believe in your talent. But we need to find a balance. Maybe you can keep writing while working part-time to help with the bills." Jack's eyes brightened at the compromise. "You're right, Emily. I'll look for a part-time job and keep writing. I promise I won't give up on my dream, but I'll also make sure we have a stable life together." With a loving smile, Emily leaned in and kissed Jack. "That's all I wanted, Jack, for us to build our future together, hand in hand." A few weeks passed, and life settled into a new rhythm for Jack and Emily. Jack found a part-time job to help with their finances, and he continued to work on his book whenever he could. Their love remained strong, and they were happy together. One day, Emily's phone rang, and her face turned pale when she saw the caller ID. It was her parents. They had come to the city and wanted to meet her and Jack. Emily's heart sank, and she hesitated to answer the call. "What's wrong, Emily?" Jack asked, noticing her worried expression. "It's my parents, Jack," Emily replied. "They're in the city, and they want to meet us." Jack smiled, thinking it was a good opportunity to get to know Emily's parents better. "That's great, Em. I'd love to meet them." Emily bit her lip and looked at Jack with concern. "But, Jack, you know they expect me to be with someone who has a decent job. I'm afraid they'll be disappointed when they find out you're working part-time and still writing." Jack understood her worry. He wanted to make a good impression on her parents, just like any loving partner would. Let me try to explain to them how passionate I am about writing. Maybe they'll understand. I promise I'll do my best to make a good impression." With a sigh of relief, Emily hugged Jack. "Thank you, Jack. I know you're doing your best, and I love you for that. Let's meet my parents and hope for the best." Later that week, Emily and Jack met her parents at a cozy restaurant. The air was filled with tension as they sat down for dinner. Emily's parents were kind, but her father couldn't help but ask, "So, Jack, what do you do for a living?" Jack cleared his throat and replied, "I'm working part-time right now to support Emily and our future. But my real passion is writing, and I'm working on a book." Emily's mother raised an eyebrow, concern in her eyes. "Writing, you say? That's interesting, but is it a stable job, dear?" Jack felt a bit nervous but spoke from his heart. "I know it might not seem like the most stable choice, but it's my dream, and I'm determined to make it work. I'm doing my best to find a balance between my passion and our financial needs." Emily squeezed Jack's hand under the table, and her father's stern expression softened a bit. "Well, Jack, I respect your determination," he said, "but you must understand that we worry about Emily's future." Emily spoke up, her voice filled with love and conviction. "Dad, Mom, I love Jack, and I believe in his dreams. We're working together to build our future, and I hope you can support us in that." After a moment of silence, Emily's mother smiled and nodded. "We want what's best for you, Emily, and if you're happy with Jack, then that's what matters the most." Jack's heart swelled with gratitude. He realized that love and understanding could bridge the gap between dreams and practicality. Weeks turned into months, and Jack continued to write and send out his manuscripts to publishers. Despite his unwavering determination, he faced rejection after rejection. Each rejection letter felt like a heavy blow, and Jack's confidence began to wane. One gloomy evening, Jack sat at his desk, staring at yet another rejection email. His shoulders slumped, and a sense of despair washed over him. He felt like giving up, like his dream was slipping through his fingers. Emily entered the room and saw the defeated look on Jack's face. Without a word, she walked over and wrapped her arms around him. She held him close, offering the warmth of her love and the comfort of her embrace. Tears welled up in Jack's eyes as he buried his face in Emily's shoulder. "Emily," he whispered, his voice filled with sadness, "I don't know if I can do this anymore. It's so hard, and I keep failing." Emily held him even tighter, her heart aching for the pain he was going through. "Jack, I believe in you," she said, her voice filled with unwavering support. "I know your book is amazing, and I know you can't give up on your dream. I'm here for you, no matter what." Jack looked into Emily's eyes, and he saw a love so profound and genuine that it touched his very soul. In that moment, he found the strength to keep going. "Thank you, Emily," he said, his voice quivering. "Your love means everything to me." They sat together for a while, holding each other, finding solace in the bond they shared. Emily's love was the beacon of hope that guided Jack through his darkest moments. With her by his side, he knew he could endure any storm, overcome any obstacle, and keep pursuing his dream. Days turned into weeks, and then one sunny morning, Jack received a different email. It wasn't a rejection but an acceptance. A publishing house was interested in his book. Jack couldn't believe his eyes, his dream was finally coming true. With tears of joy streaming down his face, he rushed to share the news with Emily. She smiled, her eyes shining with happiness, and held him in another tight embrace. "I knew you could do it, Jack. I'm so proud of you." Jack's dream of becoming a published author had finally come to fruition, and it was Emily's unwavering love and support that had carried him through the tough times. Together, they celebrated the realization of a dream that had once seemed so distant. The day had finally arrived when Jack's book was published, and little did he know that it would become a bestseller in the country. The words he had poured onto the pages had touched the hearts of countless readers. It was a dream come true, beyond anything he had ever imagined. With the success of his book came a big, shiny check. Jack couldn't believe the amount written on it. It was more money than he had ever seen in his life. It was like a dream unfolding before his eyes. Jack rushed home, his heart pounding with excitement, and showed the check to Emily. She gasped in amazement, her eyes wide with surprise. "Jack, this is incredible. We can do so much with this money." Jack nodded, his face filled with determination. "Yes, Emily. I want us to have a beautiful home, a place where we can build our future together." They began searching for a home, and soon they found the perfect one. It had a charming garden, a cozy fireplace, and a spacious kitchen. It was the home of their dreams. With the big check, they made the house their own. They painted the walls, bought furniture, and made it a warm and inviting space. It was a symbol of their love and the dreams they had shared. As they settled into their new home, they felt a sense of contentment and gratitude. They had faced challenges together, and now they were reaping the rewards of their unwavering love and determination. Their love story had come full circle, from doubts and worries to the realization of their dreams. It was a reminder that with love, support, and hard work, even the most far-fetched dreams could become a beautiful reality.